Hello, and welcome to the Intuitive Rising podcast. I am so glad you're here. I'm your host, Amy Brooks, and up until about 5 years ago, I was just your average mom of 3. It was after the sudden loss of my father that my life changed forever, and the rising within me began. In this podcast, we will talk all things spiritual and healing through a very grounded and relatable approach. I hope you'll join me, remembering who you always were as we rise together. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Intuitive Rising podcast. I am your host, Amy Brooks. Always grateful to be here with you today, wherever you are in the world, wherever you're listening. Welcome. So things are looking a little bit different in my office today. If you're watching on YouTube, got a lot of splatter on the wall here. We are about to paint, so maybe the next time you see me, my office will look a little different, even more so with the pictures and things off of the walls, as we are just about to list our house for sale and make our pilgrimage back to the east coast of Canada in just a few short months. So yeah, excuse the mess in the background. I'm here today to bring forward an energy forecast for the month of April. So spring is here, hallelujah. Am I right? So we're here in the month of April, just about to be April by the time this airs. And I wanted to really sit down and set the intention to giving you a little bit of an energetic update, an energetic what's to come in this next season, in this next 4 weeks of this season, I should say. So here we are. Happy April to you. Let's get going. So I've already pulled the cards. I am going to tap in intuitively to each of these cards. I'll start off by just kind of telling you what my intention was as I began this episode, and kind of the little bit of the prep work that I did beforehand. So I set my intention to Spirit to bring forward the energy of this upcoming month of April. I set my intention to connect to the overall lesson of the month, as well as some potential challenges, some potential gifts of the month that we need to be aware of so that we can hold on to them and go. There's always that balance, right, between the learning and the struggle. Well, the struggle provides the learning, really, right? But there's always two sides of a coin. So I wanted to really tap into both sides of that and essentially bring through a sense of balance for the month so that we can find balance in the month, right? So something that I do monthly readings for my clients. So back in the fall, I put an offering out that sold out, I think, in less than 12 hours. That was a 2023 monthly tarot package. So every single month I sit down here, I pull a tarot card, and then I intuitively channel. So I don't just give the message of the card, I also tap into my psychic senses and bring forward information. And the beauty of that, so I hear from those clients, is that they've got this kind of heads up about what might be to come, but not only that, how they can best work with the energy. And that's the gift. It's that heads up of okay, so this might feel like a setback at the time. However, it is really not, right? And just having that information, or you might not think that this is really that big a deal, but it really is. So spend some more time with that and then reap the rewards. So that's the beauty of tapping into the energy ahead of time and kind of setting yourself up for success. So my intention is to set you up collectively. This is a message for the collective, for all of us, to set us up for success for the month of April. So we've got 2 tarot cards and 1 overall lesson. I think I'm going to end with the lesson and start with the tarot cards. So let's see. We've got the Emperor come in. Now, I love this because the Emperor is card number 4 in a tarot deck, and April is the 4th month. So we've got that little commonality there. Felt like a little wink from the universe. The Emperor really represents the divine masculine. Okay, so we all have divine masculine and feminine, which within all of us, it's not like gender specific. It doesn't mean that if we pull something from the divine masculine that it's just for males, right? Or those who identify as being male. No, it's more about the energy of the divine masculine, which everybody has, and everybody also has the divine feminine. So it's more about bringing that into balance, okay? So the divine masculine is interesting because societally, I feel like the world kind of runs and is set up for the divine masculine. Okay, so it's the divine masculine is really about power and authority and doing and taking action, right? And there's a beauty in all of that. We need that, okay? But there needs to be a balance with the feminine as well, which is, letting things happen and being open to receive and, more flowy kind of energy and really intuitive energy where I'm not going to force something. I'm going to let it happen, or I'm going to be patient and let it unfold as it wants to, okay? So in general, societally, we need more of a balance, okay? And in general, societally and culturally, we are much more in this divine masculine. But it's become unhealthy. It's become in its shadow, right? The shadow of the divine masculine is in forcing. It's in hustle culture. It's in, no, you can't rest. No, you can't think about it. You need to do now. Who cares about what you want? This is what you have to do, right? And certainly there's bits and pieces of that which can be helpful for us, right? To get the ball rolling. But again, can be unhealthy when we're solely in the divine masculine. But this month calls for the divine masculine energy to be leaned on a little bit more by us collectively in a really healthy way. So what is a healthy expression of the divine masculine? Natural leadership, right? Natural leaders are not ones that kind of bark orders at us or make us kind of, all stand in a line the same. Natural leadership is about walking the walk and talking the talk and recognizing and being aware of the different strengths and abilities in certain people and utilizing those things, those skills, those abilities for the greater good. So not forcing anybody in a cookie cutter, right? So we need to lean on this healthy divine masculine energy that is around us for the month of April. We need to start to not only recognize those things in other people, but in ourselves. So Spirit is calling on us to be our own leaders, to lead our own lives, okay? Make aligned decisions for ourselves based on what we feel is right. Some of us, I feel like it's coming in. Some of us need a swift kick to the pants. And I'm laughing because I feel like it's partly me. It's partly me, people. I need a swift kick to the pants. There's just this sense of like, lead yourself. Both of these energies, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, can be unbalanced, right? And when they are not in balance, they can become unhealthy. So if we were really, really in our divine feminine all the time, we might struggle with actually doing the thing or making a decision and taking action. So we need that little kick in the pants sometimes. So I feel like the divine masculine, the emperor, is coming in for us this month to give us that swift kick in the pants. You can do this. It's time to take action. That's absolutely what April feels like for me. It's time to go get 'em, tiger. There's this feeling about our ambitions and success are at this really critical point. I'm kind of being shown, it's funny because every time I record, my nose gets itchy, and my nose does not get itchy other than when I'm working with energy. What does that mean? I'm being shown this kind of fork in the road. And, the things, our goals and our plans and the things that we want and the external factors that will help kind of bring it to fruition are meeting up on the path. So this is a really good month for you to start taking some action, to start making those plans a reality in some small way. If you're anything like me, you can get overwhelmed sometimes with choice, or not knowing when the time is right. I feel like this other card that's going to come in a moment will help us with that exact issue. But we're up leveling. This month is about up leveling. It's about leaning on the Emperor energy, the divine masculine, taking some action in a really healthy way. So this is not about forcing yourself uncomfortably. This is not about doing something that you absolutely don't want to do. It's about pushing yourself out of your comfort level with the things that you actually do want to do. Now, don't confuse the fact between not wanting to do something and being fearful of it. Okay, because we've talked a lot on this podcast about how fear is your friend, actually, and how things that you feel limited by, challenged by, or you might struggle with actually lead to your greatest evolution. So there is a difference with, I'm kind of fearful to do this or to take this chance, versus this is not aligned with me and I don't want to do it. There's a great difference between those two. So make sure you take some time this month to discern, am I just afraid to do this thing, but I actually want to do it, or do I really not want to do it? And follow the things that I keep hearing fearfully excite you, okay? Excitement and fear actually feel the same in your body. Think about the last time you felt really excited. What are those things that kind of come up? What are those physical sensations? Maybe you get butterflies in the tummy, right? Maybe your heart's racing. You're feeling almost kind of nervous, but you don't call it nerves because there's this element that you've just labeled it excitement. But if you labeled something fear, it probably would feel the same in your body. This is a topic that I like to ponder on sometimes. It's a thing that makes you go, we'll put it in that category. But yeah, really be discerning about, am I just afraid to take a chance on myself with this? Or is this something that I really don't want to do? It's a month of non-negotiables too, is what's coming on or coming through. So like I'm seeing like a checklist, crossing things off that are just non-negotiables. This is absolutely not what I want to do. It feels like the month of April is a breath of fresh air. It's really bringing in clarity for us. Okay, the next two cards actually will make a lot of sense based on what I just said. So the other energy of the month of April is the Six of Swords. Okay, so the Swords is all about your mindset. Six is kind of about transitions. Okay, so this is a true fork in the road, crossroads kind of energy. It's about discernment, right? Which the Emperor is really going to help you with. It's going to help you discern. These two are working together really beautifully for us in the month of April. The Six of Swords is helping you with transitions. It's helping you discern between, what's right for you versus what's not. It's bringing in clarity. It may at times bring clarity through endings, so things not working out, maybe something's being delayed, maybe in the moment, momentarily, that might feel like a disappointment or a setback. But if you have time, if you take time to think of it through the lens of, this is a purposeful pause, there's a reason that this isn't happening immediately. If you remind yourself that the universe is always working for your highest good, I promise you that, and you can get in that mindset, it helps unstick us, okay? I am not a person that's going to spiritually bypass you and tell you that you should not feel your feelings. If you feel disappointment, feel disappointment. You're a human being. You're meant to feel things, okay? Your emotions are your teachers. They are your messengers. In fact, there is a message about messengers coming right up. But I'm not telling you to not feel your feelings. There's power in feeling your feelings, and there's purpose in feeling your feelings. But sometimes we as human beings can get stuck in our feelings. And so then it becomes kind of more that unhealthy manifestation of emotions, because we can get stuck in it. This card is kind of saying, feel your feelings, but then, hey, here's a little perspective mindset shift that might help you move out of that sticky energy, right? So just things about divine timing, knowing if something's not happening immediately, it's in your highest and best good, or if something appears to not be working out, it's in your highest and best good. This is a month, like I said, about messengers. So help is arriving at the right time. We might be feeling a little bit alone on this journey. The Emperor can also feel, it could feel lonely if you are this leader, watching everybody else, managing everybody else, maybe just managing yourself, and it feels like a really isolating solo kind of journey. That might feel a little bit isolating, right? But if you step into the more healthy aspect of that energy, where you're working with people, where you're not above anybody, you're recognizing everybody's skills and strengths and ability, then you become part of a community and you become a leader that leads from a good place, right? And so there's this energy that potentially we could feel a little bit lonely this month, a little bit isolated, if we were kind of leaning into the more shadowy aspects of this energy. So I give these messages to you as a heads up, because there is a flip side. There is another way around it. By recognizing your own skills and abilities, by recognizing what am I afraid of versus what don't I want to do. By taking a chance on yourself, on the things that you actually want to do. That's the healthy expression of this. Healthy expression of this is mindset shift. Okay, this didn't work out for me and I'm allowed to be ticked off about it, but there must be a reason. This is a purposeful pause. So I'm not going to internalize this or judge myself for having done something wrong. I'm just going to surrender to the energy. Accepting help is a huge message with this card. It feels as if the universe will be sending out help via messengers, is what I heard. So somebody on the street who picks up something for you that you dropped, the person at the post office who gives you a compliment or says something to you that leads you to something else, that leads you to clarity, right? Like focusing on those, the interconnectivity of all things is really a focus also with the month of April. And you can see it in both cards, leading from a place of honor and respect, and not higher than anybody, but like we're all kind of equal. And if we each lean in on what we ourselves feel skilled at, or what we feel we can bring to the table, and if that was recognized for what it was, how everything would just work really, really seamlessly. That's how we're all interconnected. Right now, it feels like we're all just kind of chickens with our heads cut off, right? Like what way, like we're all frazzled and overwhelmed. There's a much better way to do it if we lean into the healthy aspects of this. This month, focus on what are those skills of yours. Make decisions, lead yourself. Accept help from others if it's offered. We need to move through the discomfort of, oh, I can't receive help from somebody, or I have trouble receiving a compliment, or somebody saying, hey, do you need me to take that off your hands? Yes, please, I do. That's what we say in April. Yes, please, I do need that support this month. Move through the ego of whatever that is that says you don't deserve the support, or you don't need the support, or you shouldn't need the support. Get the heck out of your own way and say, yes, please. And pay attention to how the universe sends little messengers to you. Whether it's a compliment, somebody holding the door open for you, you hearing something that leads to something else that then gives you some sort of clarity or insight. This is all about spiritual growth. Spiritual growth this month. Hold on to your hats. Feels like a big one. I want to end with the overall lesson of the month of April. This one comes from the deck, the Soul's Journey lesson cards. And I should mention that the tarot cards are from the Light Seers Tarot. This is my favorite tarot deck. And stay tuned as well to this podcast, because I'm going to be doing an episode all about tarot soon. Often I'm people mention to me, I want to get into tarot, but I feel like I'm so overwhelmed by the idea of tarot. And I would like to say to you, yes, me too. And tarot used to very much overwhelm me because there's such a framework to tarot. Like, the cards all mean something. Like, they have very specific meanings. And I thought, my goodness, how am I going to learn 78 cards, all their meanings and their reversals? Like, that would be impossible. But I also realized that was holding me back because I really wanted to work with tarot. So what my own intuitive knowing told me to do was to create daily tarot. And that's why I do the daily tarot Monday to Friday over on my Instagram and my Facebook pages and my YouTube. Every single day, Monday to Friday, you will get a 1-minute daily tarot message. And that was me leading myself. That was tapping into the Emperor energy and my intuitive knowing, going, you know what? The best way to learn is to try. Put yourself out there. It's not that you can't do it. It's not that you don't want to do it. Maybe you feel some fear, but your fear is your friend. So just take a chance on yourself and do it. And I did it. And now I love working with tarot. Tarot is much more intuitive than I imagined it was. And as long as you kind of have a little bit of a framework, you can learn as you go. It is intuitive. The messages will just come to you intuitively, okay? So let's take a quick little drink of water and then move on to the overall lesson for April. Okay. The overall lesson, what we're learning in the month of April, is trust. Of course, that makes sense with these two cards, right? To trust ourselves, to trust others, to trust the universe. It's all about trust. There's probably going to be many opportunities in the month of April that we are being tested to trust ourselves. Maybe there's going to be kind of a feeling of confusion around something. I brought that kind of in earlier. Maybe something's ending, or there's some sort of disappointment or letdown, or there's confusion around something. The lesson is to trust. The lesson is to trust. The way we learn is to, very often, to fall on our face, right? That's how we learn. And we shouldn't judge ourselves for that. That's how we figure things out, right? So trust, accepting your inner voice. I'm going to read what it says on the card. It says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Leaning in on your Emperor energy, your leader, the leader inside. Leaning in on this, the messengers in your life, right? It feels like we're at a crossroads. It feels like we are in transition mode. So we need to lead ourselves, but we also need to find the balance by leaning on others. Okay, so that's what this month is about, trusting ourselves and others. Accepting your inner voice. This has a lot to do with intuitive work. This would be a great month to take a deep dive in any sort of healing modality you are interested in, that you want to learn more about. If you want to learn more about tarot, I'm going to take this as a nod to record the tarot episode in the month of April because I think it would be well suited for this energy. Anything you want to learn about when it comes to yourself, a perfect month for personal development, work, discernment. Don't feel rushed this month. I want to tell you that too. Don't feel rushed. Now, these energies, the more unhealthy aspect of them, could make you feel rushed, right? If you're feeling like isolated, or you're feeling like somebody is judging you, or if you're judging yourself, or maybe you're feeling alone and you're at this crossroads and you're confused, it's not the time to make major decisions, is what I hear, without tapping into that discernment. If you are kind of overwhelmed with this cloud of confusion, don't make major decisions in that mindset. This does not mean don't make major decisions in the month of April. Just maybe wait until if you can, obviously, wait until you can have a moment to yourself where you can kind of think about this and discern. Am I afraid of this? Is this not something I want to do at all? Do I feel pressured to do this? Is this really aligned for me? Then making the decision, okay? So discernment is a big one. Does this feel right for me? Why am I doing this? Why does this feel this way to me? Focusing on the body as well. In April, I know April, half of it, we are in Aries and then a little bit in Taurus. Taurus season for me, there always seems to be a huge focus on the physical body. So a lot of things about the intuitive body connection will come forward. Things about health will come forward. For me personally, once we get into that latter stage of April and into the Taurus energy. Discernment though, how does this feel in my body? How does this person or this experience or this mindset or this idea feel in my body? Ask yourself those things before making decisions this month. Discerning between what is this my ego talking or is this my soul talking will be so helpful for you. Take a moment to check in with your body. Your body will not lie. Your gut feeling is there for a reason. It is it's been there. It's helped every single ancestor that you have, which is a lot, let me tell you. Every single one of them, it helped them survive so that the miracle of you could be here today. So trust that gut, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful April. I'm excited for April. It honestly feels like a breath of fresh air. Let's lean into the healthier, manifestations of this energy of the Emperor, of the Divine Feminine. Let's get stuff done, but from a really discerned place. Let's get clear. Is this my ego? Is this my soul talking? And move through fears of asking for support or needing help. Setting boundaries comes forward. Taking a rest comes forward. Maybe we need to balance a little bit of the divine masculine and feminine. We don't want to lean too far into the masculine and neglect the feminine. We need that balance. But just if you find yourself kind of like a little wishy-washy, or I can't make a decision, or, I have to make this decision, I don't know what to do. This is the perfect month to really tap into your body, practice discernment, and then go. Trust and go. Have a wonderful April. I will see you soon. Bye, guys. Keep rising.
Thank you for joining me for another episode here of the Intuitive Rising podcast. If you would like to continue the chats and join the community, please join us over on Facebook and search for the Intuitive Rising community. All are welcome. If you enjoy this podcast, please consider giving it a 5-star rating. If you'd like to connect with me directly, please visit my website at theintuitiverising.com.